Hey guys, I am coming at you from my assistant's car this beautiful Thursday morning. I wanted to hop in and answer Tipsy Thursday episode 2's question, which is all about fear and getting into action and how it has to deal with anxiety. Okay guys, so I switched angles because the sun was really weird in the eyes. So I just wanted to talk to you. Okay, so the biggest issue of anxiety is the overthinking. So we get stuck in these hooks. So we think of something that triggers us. So for instance, I have a huge anxiety around time. So for instance, when I'm late or when someone that I'm with is taking too long or I've lost track of time, my anxiety can go like this in like less than a millisecond because I'm so nervous about not missing out on things, but not having enough time to do everything I want. So I get really nervous, and I also know how people are just like not cool when it comes to being late or not on time. So that also triggers me, and I'm going all over the place. So maybe this is a trigger or an anxiety that you guys have. Other anxieties that are super common are the being seen, financial issues, stepping out of your comfort zone, all those things. And I know that you can really get stuck in those stories and those hooks when you're in the middle of an anxiety attack or, that anxious thinking process. So my number one suggestion to you, and it's not fancy, it's not beautiful, it's actually pretty lame to be honest, is just to get into action. For the longest time, I was like, okay, I'm just going to collect all the knowledge I need to, also how hilarious is that video, that window right there. I'm going to collect all the information I need. I'm going to take all the courses, I'm going to read all the books, I'm going to listen to all the podcasts, I'm going to watch all the YouTube videos, and then all of a sudden I'll be fine and everything will be good. Guess what? That's not really how it works. The biggest thing about getting into action is that you just have to do it. I know that's such a lame thing, but you know how Nike is like, just do it. Like, that's exactly what you need to do. So the one author that I do want to suggest to you, because she's really great, and she doesn't necessarily always talk about how it relates to anxiety, but 100% is related to anxiety, is Mel Robbins and the 5-second rule. So she talks about how she was like quite depressed after all these failed things in her life, and she just couldn't get out in the morning. So what she did is she imagined herself as a rocket ship. So she's doing the countdown. She's doing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and on 1, she springs out of bed, doesn't think about it, and just gets to her morning. So anxiety, our brains are just so overactive. We're so smart. We take in all the information, and it is actually to our detriment because we're like, oh, but we could do this or this or this. And then we take into account whatever anxiety is. So if it's time, it's like, okay, but if I do this, then I won't have time for this. If I do that, then I won't have time for this. Or maybe I'll be tired if I go to the gym and then I won't be able to finish my blog post or whatever it is. The point is most of your time is wasted 100% in that brain, like that thought process, and well, if I do this, then this will happen, if this and this and this, and the indecisiveness. And that is that process, and I was stuck in that forever. About 2 years ago, I joined a gym, and the process to get me to the gym, I just can't even begin to explain. It was so bad. But what I want you guys to do is you got to shut your brain off, is really what it is. And that's hard, and that takes practice, and it's a muscle you need to build. So what my suggestion to you is you just have to do it. Like, I don't have some really beautiful, awesome suggestions on if you drink like milk thistle for 30 seconds every morning, then you're going to be able to do this. Like, no, it's just being able to get over your head and get over your habit of overthinking, of feeling anxious, and just get into action. It's just being able to, okay, let's do this. For instance, right now, I have another fear of not looking professional or not looking like I know what I'm talking about. But look, I'm literally in a car park in a motel in Colorado Springs, and this is not the ideal situation to record these videos, right? But for me, it's a matter of, okay, so am I going to let that fear hold me back? Am I going to let my anxiousness and my brain and all those things prevent me from showing up for you? Is it going to prevent me from showing up for myself? Is it going to prevent me from showing up for my business? And when I think of it that way, it's a hell's no. It's a big hell's no. So what I want you guys to do is to make sure that when you are anxious and when you're thinking about maybe not doing something that you know you should, think of the flip side. Like, how is that letting yourself down? How is that letting your business down? How is letting your followers down? How is that letting your people, your community, your family down? Because when you think about that as well, it was going to give you more motivation to be like, you know what, like, screw it, let's do this. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys, and hopefully you've taken something from this. And we are going to get into a little bit more technical questions next week when I am back on the normal clock of the 9 to 5 grind, you know, except I don't work 9 to 5, but I'm going to be back in the office and not on vacation and not recording videos in a sketchy ass car park in Colorado Springs. So I hope you guys take what you can from this, and if you need anything, if you have any questions, if you're like, oh my gosh, I want to know how funnels are made, or I want to know how to gain 100 Instagram followers in 30 days, or whatever, just hit reply to this email, or if you're watching this on YouTube, comment below and I'll make sure that your questions are answered. Okay, guys, until next Thursday, bye.